friends, and welcome back to my channel. I'm so happy you're here today because I have a very exciting announcement and I'm just so excited to tell you guys. Finally, I feel like it's been kind of tough keeping this a secret because it is so exciting, and that is Halloweekend Readathon that will be happening in October, and this was created by Books with Lexie. You know, Lexie, of course, we all know. And the other co-host will be Michelle from Michelle's Library, Erin, Megan, and Sav from Riveting Reads. And everything will be linked in the description box down below. For this readathon, there is going to be a lot going on because it is a month-long readathon that takes place over the weekends in October. And we'll be sprinting every weekend. I think there'll be sprints Thursday through Saturday. There's going to be dates down below too, and then we're also going to be doing like a 12-hour slumber party thing at the end. I think Halloweekend. And yeah, lots of spooky stuff going to be happening. And here today, I am just going to talk about the main prompts for the readathon and my 5 recommendations. So the first recommendation is to read a book from the favorites of the host. Does that make sense? Yeah, I think that does make sense. Read a host favorite, and I will have 5 favorites for this readathon and the other half of this video when I'm done talking about the prompts. And the next main prompt is to read a book with a Halloween related word in the title, like dark, night, dead, hunt, blood, shadow, and pretty much anything that's spooky. Like, yeah, you could, there's so many books I feel like with the word dark in them that this would be a pretty easy prompt to fulfill. And then the next prompt is to read a book in your favorite horror thriller subgenre: slasher, home invasion, gothic, legal, psychological. Okay, I know cosmic isn't actually listed in this, but cosmic would count as well. And the next prompt is to read a book that is set around Halloween, gives you Halloween vibes. For example, I just did a reread of my best friend's Exorcism, and that has like a bit of a Halloween section in it. It doesn't necessarily all take place on Halloween, but if it just kind of brushes over Halloween, it would still count. And the last main prompt is to read a horror or a thriller genre blend. So you can read like a sci-fi thriller or like a horror sci-fi, or I don't know why I went straight to sci-fi with that, but just kind of like a mix of stuff. Like, yeah, a thriller, horror. Sometimes there's thrillers that have a bit of horror elements in them, something along those lines. And now for my recommendations. I have 5 recommendations. Each host will have 5 recommendations, so you guys have 25 books to pick from for that first prompt. So starting with My Heart is a Chainsaw by Stephen Graham Jones. I absolutely love this book. This is a slasher that talks about all the slashers movies like ever, and I absolutely love it. There is some deep cuts in this. If you are a slasher fan, like have seen a ton of different slashers over the decades, you'll absolutely love this one. But I loved that aspect of it, but I also loved Jade as a main character in this, the mystery of why she is so obsessed with slashers, and then also the mystery of the murders in her town. I believe it's in Colorado, kind of like a mountain town that is being a bit gentrified with like vacationers. So yes, I'm so excited. I hope somebody picks this for the slasher prompt because it is so much fun. And then I rewatched Jaws after reading this book because Jade has a very great defense of Jaws being a slasher. The next book I'm going to recommend is Head Full of Ghosts by Paul Tremblay. This will actually be for one of the, you could do the cover for one of the bonus prompts for Halloween colors, but I think this gives off Halloween vibes. I think there's a certain part of this book that has Halloween vibes. This is about a girl who is reflecting in a blog about her sister's possession when she was little, and how a TV show, like a reality TV show, came in and filmed her sister's possession and exorcism that happened, and it's a really interesting book, and it takes place like past and future, and has a great tremblay ending. And I highly suggest this one for Halloween vibes prompt. And the next suggestion is a novella, You've Lost a Lot of Blood by Eric LaRocca. This fits the blood, haunt, Halloween, scary word in the title prompt, and also a bonus prompt is read a novella, and this is actually kind of 2 stories, I guess. So there is a novella in this called You've Lost a Lot of Blood, that's about a woman going to work on a video game in an isolated setting with her little brother, and things are very strange there. But this also goes back and forth between poems and letters and like recordings. It's kind of like a found footage book of this guy and his boyfriend, and he's a serial killer. His boyfriend is not a serial killer, and he's just trying to like help him in a way. It's a very interesting book. I could talk about this book forever. I love how you can kind of guess what happens in it. It's so good. It's so weird and so good. And I highly suggest this for the spooky word title prompt. The next book I'm going to recommend is going to be no surprise. It's a Michael McDowell book, Katie, that I read pretty recently, and I think this would be a great fit for the genre blending prompt with like a Victorian or history setting, like a historical horror book, because this takes place in Victorian New York City, late 1800s, and it is about a girl named Katie who is an absolute terror. She uses her psychic abilities for nothing but brutalness, and she's horrible. But you really feel for the main character in this, Philo Drax, who kind of crosses paths with this family, I guess, and this family ruins her life. And this is a bit of a revenge story, but it's told very differently than a typical revenge story, and I really like that. So if you're for the prompt, revenge historical horror, Katie by Michael McDowell is so good. It's so bloody, and there's a very unique kill in this that I've never seen done before, and it was horrifying, and I loved it. And the last book I'm going to recommend is Goddess of Filth by V. Castro. This one gives me Halloween vibes as well, and also fits the prompt for novella and Halloween colors, I think. I think this has a cool Halloween colors, and also the spine of this is a spine. Spooky. And this is about a group of friends. When they graduate high school, they decide to have like a seance, and something goes wrong. This is very much like The Craft, but I would say The Craft with another genre. So it's witchy, into another genre that's a total spoiler. I don't want to spoil anything with this one. It's very easy to spoil because it's so tiny, but the ending of this is so good. It's so gross, but until you get there, it's hilarious, and you're having the time of your life reading this story. And yeah, I highly suggest Goddess of Filth by V. Castro for Halloween prompt, even probably genre bending prompt, and the bonus prompt of novella and Halloween colors. So there you have it. This is the announcement video for Halloweekend Readathon. Those were the main prompts and some of my recommendations, or all of my recommendations, 5 recommendations. I will link everything else down below. It's going to be so much fun. We're gonna have an Instagram, a Discord, sprints every weekend, and it's just going to be a blast. I hope everybody participates if they can, and at least get to read one book and like hang out with us, and you guys let me know if you're planning on participating, and have an awesome day. Bye.